do with some of that on my head.
Right, I'm going to start off this detail by cleaning this cover, because that can hang and dry. At least it saved a lot of work. I'm not saying there ain't much to do, but it certainly saved a lot of work on this rear part of the car. But it is only for the dog to go to the parking, so you know, it's a dog's car, he can do what he likes in it. That's what we're here for, to look after the cars. So this car's having the full Monty. I've got to repair the side sill, the step, sorry. I'm going to try and find somebody who can repaint that with Raptor paint. I'll do both sides to the match, excuse me. and I'm having the wheels reconned in gloss black, and although the paint readings are really low on this car, and I'll show you when I get to them, I'm going to try and get out what I can. Marks, I mean, it's been well looked after, really, you know what I mean. The paint isn't that bad by, you know, like some of them that I have, but I'm going to try and make it look as like brand new as I can. The interior is going to have a lot of work. I'll probably spend the first week, you know, it probably won't be a week, but it could easily lead to a week. Depends on what I want to strip out to do it. But it's going to have the full thing. He's a good old friend of mine, and I want to look after him. You know, give them something that they'll be proud of, or the dog will be proud of anyway. As you know, I own dogs myself, and they're like our children. And this one's obviously very spoilt. And I thought I spoilt my dogs, but I don't buy a Range Rover to take them for a walk. Right, so I'm going to start by cleaning the mat. I've only got an hour before I go home, so at least I'll have done something. Right, so I'm sure some of you will be interested to follow what happens to the car, and I'm going to film it all with the owner's consent. So get yourselves ready, it's going to be a big one. Right, I've been working my way around with the air remover, and you've just seen I've been cleaning the rear quarter glass and the plastics. We're getting there now. I've got to get the tweezers out soon to remove some of the stubborn hairs, but it's getting there. This is probably tell by I'm out of breath. I've been on this carpet now about an hour, and starting to come together. I've been cleaning all the plastics around here. Obviously the dog likes to look out the window, so I've cleaned the window and with glass cleaner. Then I noticed there was really like an oily finish on there, so I've panel wiped the glass. Still got to go over it again with normal window cleaner, alcohol based, but that's a lot cleaner. And I've started to remove the hair from the carpet here, and then I've got to clean all the plastics around here. But I'm going round as I'm cleaning. I've started to clean the rail at the top. I've got the sides to do, but I'm going to do that when I wash the vehicle. The car still hasn't been washed yet. I wanted to get the back end inside done, then get the car washed, then get the wheels off before I carry on with any of the work. But because this is a big chunk of the work is in this back end, I wanted to get this done first. So that's what I'm concentrating on today, is get this as good as I can. And then I'll put the seats back up. The leather will have to be done and cleaned, and I'm just going to work my way through the car. But I want to get the wheels off so that they can go for refurb, and get the side steps off, which I think I'll refurb them myself, we'll see. But you can see there's some marks. This is off the Velcro, where the Velcro's been stuck originally in here, so I want to get that off. But you can see it's coming together, started to look a lot better, and the dog will love it in here. Right, I'm going to crack on. Ain't getting no work done, keep talking, so I'll see you a bit later. I think I got the stripes a bit muddled up width wise. Right, getting towards the end of doing the back end of this car. I've now cleaned all the gutters. I was going to do it when I washed the car, but since I've been in here so long, thought it'd be rude not to do it now. So all the plastics are done. Got a few scratch marks that I'm going to try and disguise. Whether it'll be successful or not, I don't know. It's just where the dogs clawed them or bit on them or whatever. There's just a couple. And I'll see what I can do with them. But overall now, it's looking a different car already. I think I've spent enough time in the back. I need to do the rest. I'll see you a bit later. Good morning, it's Ted from the Devils in the Detail. Today I'm going to start the washing and contamination removal on the Range Rover. The wheels I'm not too bothered about because they're going for a refurb. They'll just get a light wash. And really I'm just going to get it clean, get the paint clean, and then we can assess what's got to be done. Now there'll be a certain amount of marring created with using a clay bar or a clay cloth So we'll be inducing some of the marks, but there's plenty of swirls on the car. But I want to get it clean first. I've not finished the interior. I've done the back end, as that was the worst, and basically I want to get the car to the stage where I can get it in the light room to get the wheels off. Then they can go away to be refurbed, which will take about a week. And I want to remove the side steps and decide how that I'm going to refurb them. But I'm going to start off by giving it a good rinse as usual. You've all seen how it gets done. Snow foam, then some contamination remover spray on, then the metal remover, and then another wash, and you know, just continue until we get down to the clay bar or clay cloth. I think I'll be using a clay cloth. It's nice enough outside today to wash it again with a clay cloth, and then we can start the process of cleaning everything up. So I'll see you a little bit later. Let's get underway. Looks like we've got a bird's nest under here.
Bird's nest? All the rubbish that's under there.
So all this needs to be got rid of. Give the engine bay a clean before I start the car and get rid of all this crud. Right, here we go. I'm just covering the car now with a fallout remover. So I'm going round the whole car, covering the car. Then I'm going to let it dwell for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to spray the snow foam over the top and let it dwell even longer. And then hopefully by the time the snow foam comes off, it would have removed a lot of the surface contamination. And then I'm going to do the tar and metal. But first of all, I just want to get the as much of this surface contamination off as I can. It takes about 2 litres of the fallout remover to cover a car this size, and it makes you cough. And I'm using the Smart fallout remover. Now I'm going to get on with the snow foam and let that dwell on top of it. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, let's bring you along for the journey. Look what Simon's coming today. Another project car. I'll do a video of the car on its own. I've got to wash that off now because I've just sprayed it. Teach him to park in the wash bay. Right, I'm going to let that dwell for a few minutes and I'll be back. Right, so I'm just going round with the metal remover. So I'm going to let this dwell to get the iron out. It's an expensive way of removing it because this stuff ain't cheap anymore. But I want the car fully decontaminated as usual, so that I'm not polishing any of the contamination into the paintwork. So I'm going to put this on and let this dwell, then jet wash it off, and then I'm going to go around the car with tar remover. So you can see that, you know, getting the car prepared for polishing, you know, it's quite a lengthy process. It's not unusual for me to spend a day, you know, by the time it's clayed and everything, but it's the amount of materials that are used to do it as well. You know, it's but if you're going to do a job, do it right, and then nobody can moan, can they? So I'll show you the rest later. Right, I've gone round and had a look, and we've got a few tar spots. So they're mainly on the lower part of the car. So now I'm using Auto Smart Tardis to soak the tar spots. If I find any on the upper body, I'll get them off with a microfiber soaked in the Tardis. But I'm going to just let this dwell for 5 minutes so it softens up the tar. Once this stage is done, I can wash the car properly, and although it's already been washed, it'll need washing. This will leave like paraffin type stains that'll need to be got off. So once I start washing it, if I come across any tar spots, I'll just use the microfiber with this on. Panel's drying out quite quick, so I'll just keep applying it. And then I'm going to get an old microfiber. It's washed, but an old one. And then I'm going to wipe all this off and see if I can remove it all. So that's the next stage. But getting close. See you in a bit. I've been going around the car. I have now clay clothed the paintwork, and I'm just doing the glass. I thought I'd show you the difference with the glass that's been clay barred and the one that hasn't. So if I put this on, you'll see that come off, and then you can see the water dragging and being held by the contamination compared to that one. Don't get me wrong, this has to be sealed now that it's clean, but that's what the contamination does, it holds the water. So I'm going to carry on going round and get the rest of the glass clean, and I'll polish it with the machine polisher as well before I apply any coatings to it. I just thought I'd show you that. And that's the clay mitt I'm using. So I'm going to carry on, get the rest of it done. Good morning everybody, peeps. Today I thought we'd just have a walk round and have a look at the paintwork on the Range Rover. So I've left the lights off so that I can show in a bit more detail. You can see the normal wash swirling, a few heavier scratches, the usual black plastic swirls. As we walk around the car, it's pretty much the same all over. There's some deeper scratches. Now, I think, I've measured the paint previous to this visit, and there is hardly any paint on it, so it's debatable how much I will be able to correct it, but I'm going to do my best to get out what I can. But you can see there's holograms and really a few more bad marks around the handle. Doesn't matter how much you blow these mirrors out, they still drip. Must have a hidden compartment. You can see, we've got some, just some really general marks. Some of these have been put in with the clay cloth, but there are some peculiarities in the paint around this area, which I'm sure I can get out. There's a bit of a deep scratch there, and down here I'll see if I can get the correct colour to touch them in. Now the bonnet pretty much looks exactly the same, but I noticed over here there's some strange rubbing been going on the bonnet, and it wasn't me. This mark was there before I started the clay barring, so I need to really have a look at what that is, but I think I can get that out as well. But as you can see, that's just the same as the rest of the vehicle. Now the passenger side has got a lot of damage, and there's a lot of deep scratching around the wheel arch as well, as you can see. Then we go on to the wing. Now that doesn't look too bad, although there's a couple of deeper scratches just up the top there. But when we start coming down, we're going to start seeing some deeper scratches, because something, I presume this has been rubbed down a bush when it's been parked, to be fair, because these marks really, they run all the way down the car and then across the whole panel. You'll still see, you can see the swirls, but the straight ones are going to be the bush. And down here's had plenty of rubbing action or polishing action at some point. Then there's a really bad deep scratching around that part, and then we get to the wheel arch area. Now this is quite bad around this area. Up onto the door again, just literally it looks like it's just run down a bush. It continues on on the rear quarter panel and on the bumper. So with the paint readings that I measured before, I've got my work cut out to do a lot with these, but the tailgate isn't as bad as the rest of the car. For some reason it looks like, when I measure the paint, I'll measure this, see if it's been painted, because it doesn't look the same. But you can see it's pretty much the same all over. The roof I'm not really that bothered about. Again, some rub marks in that side of the tailgate and some deeper scratching, but you know, you can see this lamp has had some rubbing on it, and that needs correcting as well. So pretty much what you'd expect from a vehicle of this age. So once I finish the interior, I'll be back on this and start the paintwork, but I need to get the wheels off. They need to go away Monday for the refurb. I need to get the steps off. I've decided I'm going to sort the steps out myself, and I'm going to do it in U-Pol Raptor. So that'll be a little bit of a education. So I'll film that as a completely separate. I'll add it into this job, but I'm going to do a separate U-Pol Raptor video, because I'm going to use it in aerosol form and not out of a spray gun. And so I haven't used it in a aerosol before, so that will be an education for both of us. So we'll see how we get on with that. The mirrors need a good going over as well, but you could see, even without the light, you know, you could see these plastics, they should be done in something different, because they're always the same. So there we have it. That's a walk around on the for the paint deficiencies. But like I say, today I'm going to crack on with the interior. I've done the back end, you know, in the boot area, and I'm just going to start sorting the cabin area out. I'm going to steam and clean all the leather, door cards as well, everything, backs of the seats. Well, you've seen it previously, I'll do it all anyway, but you know, it does need doing. It's not as dog hairy in here as it was in the back, but there's still plenty of marks and stuff to clean. So I'm going to crack on with this today, and I might film some of it. You know, you've seen it on the last one, me cleaning the leather, but it doesn't hurt to show some of it again. Right, I'm going to stop babbling on and get on with some work. So I'll see you later. As you can see, the leather is looking a bit lackluster, and lots of marks in it. So the steamer's on, just waiting for it to warm up. I'm just vacuuming all the stitching and everything out, and got a brush, just lightly moving the rubbish out, and whatever I can vac up I will, before I start the steaming process. So just trying to get in all the nooks and crannies, loosen everything up. Go over it with a vacuum. I've just been round the door trim. This felt does hold air, as you can see. I have to go round again because as I'm moving stuff here, it's gripping it again, so it's all coming out the brush now. That was a stupid move. So show the mistakes as well. I'll go around and clean that off with the rubber brush. Right, I'm gonna crack on and start getting this looking as good as I can. I've just cleaned all the air vents out and the little cubby holes. Right, I'll show you when the steamer's ready. Right, I'm about to start cleaning the seat pad on the rear of the Range Rover. As you've seen before, I've got Kosh Chem cleaner diluted. I've got a soft brush. Quite a few little marks, although it's black, it still shows marks up. I'm just going to agitate the cleaner, let it do its thing. Make sure I get in to the stitches. And a little detailing brush as well. Just getting into the perforations because that's where the dirt's held. I might have to do this a couple of times, but in real terms it shouldn't be that bad. Right, if I can find this steamer. Right then, let's start giving it a pull. Right, let's see if anything's come out. Well, we've got a little bit out. They're not that bad, just surface marks. So I'm just going to go over it again now. Just give it a clean, the same as you see me do before. Give it another pull to get whatever's left, and then that should be done, and I'll start on the back. I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to see if I can get a 50-50 between the cleaned leather and the uncleaned. Right, let's give it a pull. just dry that off. I might have to take the camera out the stand to show you the difference. Let's peel that off. Put that in the bin. Now I'll take the camera out. I'll drop it out just like that. You can clearly see the seat has gone back to a nice matte finish. It's just drying out. You probably can still see some damp spots, but that is the difference it makes with a quick clean and the steam. And you're seeing really how quick you can transform something, and you're not really pushing the dirt into the leather, you're actually getting it out because the steam pushes it up and you wipe it as you pull it. So there we are. I bet it is a bit that's got a stripe on it now.